Yeah, started, sir.
Happy evening to all of you. Welcome to today's meeting on Bank Branch Audit Q&A Series 4, the final series of a question and answer session on Bank Branch Audit organized by SIRC of ICAI. So far, we have successfully conducted 3 series, and today is the 4th and final series. These series were well received and appreciated by our members. By this time, most of our members have completed their bank branch audit, and some of our members might be in the process of finalization of an audit report for certain banks like SBI, Indian Bank, etc., for which today is the last date, I think. Soon after finishing this audit session, our members would be planning for a summer vacation. As the heat waves are increasing, requesting all our members to keep yourself cool, hydrated, drink plenty of water, tender coconut, and palm apple. Let's come to today's session on Bank Branch Auditor Question and Answer Series 4. We have with us a CA Sridhar R from Trivandrum and a CA Lakshmanan M from Madurai. Vanakkam and welcome, sirs. We have with us our SIRC Chairman CA Pannaraju Sirigeri and SIRC Secretary CA Ayampalayam Venkatesh Arun, sir. Welcome, dignitaries and delegates. Members, if you have any queries on bank branch audit, you can ask our experts we have with us today. They are happy to answer all your queries. You can raise your query in the Q&A option available in the Zoom platform, or raise your hand in Zoom so that our technical team will enable you to unmute and speak with our experts. So without much delay, we will start today's programs with the invocation of ICAI motto song as a mark of respect to our mother institute. Technical team, please play ICAI motto song.
Yaesha supteshu jagrati, Yaesha supteshu jagrati, Kamam 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 pursho nirvimana nirvimana Tadeva shukram tada brahma Tadeva mritamucchate Tasmin lokaha shataha Sarve tadunatyati kaschan Etadvaita 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 etadvaita.
Thank you. That's the mark of today's program start. May now request SIRC Chairman CA Pannaraju Sirigeri to formally welcome the delegates and speakers through his welcome address. Over to Pannaraju, sir, Chairman.
Yeah. Good evening, all, and a warm welcome to all of you, especially the speakers for the day, Sridhar sir and Lakshmanan sir. And it is not the speakers; they are the experts who are here to share their experience and also clarify the doubts that the members have in reporting or in auditing also. So I also very warmly welcome the members who have participated here. As rightly pointed out by Mr. Rahman, most of the audits are completed. We thought the reporting process would be still on up to 18th or 20th. So we scheduled these dates in the last month itself. Nevertheless, there are still some more members who are yet to finalize their reports, and also the experts who are here today would be there to enlighten you even on the other aspects of audit, like internal audit, concurrent audit, or revenue audit, whatever for that matter, because they are very experienced and erudite personalities. And I am very happy to welcome both the speakers, sir. Thank you for accepting the invitation. And it is our earnest, what's called attempt to see that the errors are not committed, or the clarification is there for the members who submit their bank audit reports. Because of late, the disciplinary proceedings we are observing that many of the small issues are being questioned, and they are being reported to the disciplinary section of the institute. And there are so many additional or piling up of the disciplinary cases for non-compliances in various aspects for that matter. So to be more compliant, we have been cautious here to see that such programs are there, and the slightest of the doubts or the what's called ignorance in some of the areas might lead to commit some mistakes, which would result in the what's called disciplinary proceedings, as well as the very reputation for the profession as such. So in the days to come also, we at SIRC have planned to conduct various programs on non-compliances. There are two boards at the institute, that is FRRB, Financial Report Review Board, and also Tax Audit Review Board. So in these areas, the non-compliances or the errors in reporting are found out by these two boards, and they have been publishing consistently the types of the errors. And those errors, we will focus in the days to come on those errors and how to mitigate such issues, and also be more compliant and more quality-oriented presentation in our reporting. So I request all of you to participate in bigger numbers in the days to come and see that our quality of reporting is increased, and also the reputation of the institute and also the trust that the various agencies have in our profession or is kept up to a very great height. And also the flags of ICAI are kept at a very great height. With these words, I welcome you all once again for this Q&A session. The queries can be raised by raising the hand or putting a query on the chat box, or directly interacting with the speakers. Once again, welcome you all and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman, sir. May I now request CA Ayampalayam Venkatesh Arun, Secretary SIRC of ICAI, to introduce today's speaker. Today's speaker, CA Sridhar R and CA Lakshmanan M. Both the speakers have one thing in common. They both served the higher position in their respective branch managing committees of Trivandrum and Madurai branches of SIRC of ICAI. Over to Arun, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Raghuman and Chairman, sir. CAR Sridhar FCA, he is a managing partner in Sridhar & Co., having office at Chennai, Kochi and Thiruvananthapuram. Sridhar sir is basically a commerce graduate and chartered accountant, qualified in the year 1987. He is also qualified in July 2017 as an insolvency professional and registered with IBBI. He is also having diploma in public relation and advertising, completed a course in the labor law and administrative law, did course in IFRS and indirect taxation conducted by ICAI. He's practicing since 1987, established own firm in 1988. His firm Sridhar & Co. Chartered Accountant with headquarters at Thiruvananthapuram and having 9 partners. The firm was statutory general auditor of State Bank of Thiruvangur for the year 10, 11, 12, 13 financial years, and Dhanalakshmi Bank for 2016, 17, 18 to 18, 19. And is the auditor of major public sector undertaking, Mini Ratna companies and listed companies. He was the chartered president of Kerala Insolvency Professional Forum, an association formed by the insolvency professional in the state for the professional development. He is the co-author of the textbook for the course conducted by Indian Institute of Bankers, Accounting and Finance for Bankers. He has been actively involved and held various posts in Thiruvananthapuram branch of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and was chairman of branch in 1996 to 97. He has been advisor for various government projects, guest faculty in various professional institutes and other institutions. He is actively involved in professional forum. He was secretary and then treasurer of the Thiruvananthapuram Chamber of Commerce. He is a member of All India Kerala Chartered Accountants Association and member of Thiruvananthapuram Management Association. He serves society as a member of various social and service organization like Trivandrum chapter of Public Relations Society of India, Freemasons, Charitable Trust, Trivandrum Tennis Club, and Trivandrum Golf Club. So with this introduction, I welcome Mr. Sridhar sir. And now also another panelist, Mr. Lakshman sir, is from Madurai. He's also a commerce graduate and a chartered accountant in practice from the year 1976. He has successfully completed the certificate course on information system audit, concurrent audit of banks, and forensic audit and fraud prevention conducted by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He is also an insurance surveyor and law assessor and fellow member of Indian Institute of Insurance Surveyor and Law Assessor. He is a senior partner in Mr. Lakshman & Co. Chartered Accountant, having office in Madurai and Tiruchirappalli. He has served as a secretary, vice chairman, chairman of Madurai branch of the Southern India Regional Council of Chartered Accountants of India, and he has presented papers on audit of banks and insurance companies, issue in e-filing, demonstrates faceless assessment, insurance surveys, etc. He is an active member of Jain Welfare Foundation. At present, he is in the Deputy World Chairman in charge of the Kerala and Tamil Nadu state. He was one of the executive committee member of Madurai District Tiny and Small Scale Industries Association. He is the vice president of Madurai Productivity Council. He is an associate member of Forum of Free Enterprises Mumbai and life member of Victoria Edward Hall, Madurai. He is a visiting faculty for entrepreneur development program conducted by various organizations, and his favorite topics are costing, income tax, working capital management, and finance management. He has also a lecture of black money on various forums. He is a regular writer to the letter to the editor column, and his letters, articles on direct taxes and on the topic of public interest appears in Tax Group, The Hindu, The Economic Times, Indian Express, The Tax Refresher, The Current Tax Reporter. He is happily married and blessed with 2 sons. One completed CA and cost accountant and working in Chennai, and the other son is doing business at Madurai. With this small introduction, I welcome and hand over the forum to the two senior faculties, expert in the field of bank audit. Sir, the forum is yours, sir.
Lakshmanan sir, you can have brief first.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. In fact, every year we have our bank audit seminar and we take part, and every part of it explained to us, LFAR, IRAC norms, etc. And once we visit the branch, due to paucity of time, we could not concentrate on what are all said and done. We are not able to do much about certifying the balance sheets and following the IRAC norms. Practically, there are so many issues which we are not able to discuss in the seminars, or we are not able to find answers even in the books. Once we visit the branch only, the complications we enter into. In fact, when I was telling to my friends, they were telling that there are so many issues, but we have to discuss about it in person, one-to-one. And certain friends telephoned to me and asked whether we have to give MOC or whether it is sufficient to make a report in LFAR, serious irregularities. For example, this is a small issue. Guarantees given. For the guarantees given, contingent liability is shown in the balance sheet. There are huge amount of guarantees which have been given. Actually, the period was over. The claim period was also over. Those are all expired guarantees. But the guarantees have not been returned back. So they are showing it as contingent liability. Whether to report it in main report or in LFAR is a question. Sridhar sir, can you enlighten, sir? Because it is in crores of rupees given to government.
Sir, basically, when we do central audit, we find that this bank guarantees are enforceable for 1 year after completion of the date. So there are two ways it can be passed. MOC, we pass MOC. Basically, this is expired guarantee or completed time schedule and all, and we don't get any income out of it, but the liability still remains. Contingent liability still remains because
they say that the period for making a claim is also over.
Sir, that what is what the day? If it is after 1 year period, then you have to pass an MOC.
Oh,
because
after 1 year only.
1 year, the Supreme Court judgment is reminding that they can claim it till 1 year completion from the date of completion of the bank guarantee. So what happens, the liability, contingent liability continues. So if that period is also over, then you will have to reverse it.
Oh.
You have any other opinion, sir?
No. I told them that you mentioned it in the LFAR.
Sir, LFAR mentioning, there are two aspects, sir, because the first section which you asked about, whether you have to pass MOC or mentioning in LFAR. This particular item, if the period, even extended period is over, there is no other question other than routing through MOC. If the time period, extended time period is not over, then mentioning in LFAR as an important item is good. But what happens when the central auditors compiles the reports? This LFAR are seen only after the balance sheet is completed. So it is always, because that will only be the compilation of LFAR takes place after the balance sheet is signed and then given everything is completed. So if you want any major issue to be reported, it is better to be reported in the audit report.
Yes.
I'm not talking about this bank guarantee, any major issue.
Any major issue.
Yes. It is to be reported in audit report or MOC to be passed. That only will have attention before finalization of the bank's main balance sheet. By reporting or anything which is being reported in LFAR will not get any effects, if we desired effect. So always I feel, as central auditor, I usually tell branch auditors whenever it happens, whatever you feel it is to be attended to by statutory audit before finalization, it has to come in audit report or you put in MOC.
There is one question from Mr. Sendil, sir.
Tell me, sir.
As per the latest stock audit report, there were no stocks in the textile mill, which was leased to somebody, but the account is performing asset as per NPA norms. Since there are no arrear at all, whether MOC is to be given?
Sir, actually, the loan is given based on stocks. If original security itself is not there, it will become it will not be a drawing power will be lost. When drawing power is lost, it becomes NPA. Drawing power is decided based on your security. So
even though there are no arrears.
Sir, one second, let me finish. That is why when we are verifying the stock statements, based on the stock statement sanctioning letters, if the stock is not the main criteria, if it is like a demand loan, it is given, then it will not be there. If the drawing power is drawn out of the stock, then drawing power will become zero. Whatever loan given becomes NPA. 90 days norms will be applicable on that.
Yes.
Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, and I wish to like to add one thing in this, since Arun has made this particular point. My bank audit started it from the year 87, 88, 87 March accounts started. I used to have a practice of visiting some of the selected clients of the branch.
Sir, it got disconnected, sir.
we will request sir to rejoin, sir. In the meantime, you can continue.
Yes, yes. As he said, since the prime security is not there, even though there are no arrears, it is up to date, everything is pakka. But as he said, the loan is granted for the security, the drawing power is nil, so it is not a performing asset. So MOC can be given for that particular loan. Since it is the stock audit report, it is said that there are no stocks available. In fact, when we were doing corporate branch for a textile mill, in fact, we visited that mill and we found there are a lot of stocks. But when we inquired, that gentleman has leased out the factory to somebody else. So the stock does not belong to him at all. So in such a situation, MOC is to be given, definitely. It is not a performing asset because there is no drawing power. Yes, sir. Sridhar, sir.
Sorry, sir, a power went off and then suddenly. Sir, actually, we chartered accountants, this my request and suggestion that some of the major business, when you visit there, you will understand whether there is really business is happening, whether functioning. So that will give you an idea. But nowadays, after early 90s, when we started an application of 90 days and all, we lost that particular thing. Those days, we used to go and assess whether the companies
exist or not. Exist or not.
Existing, is it functioning? We applied our mind. Now there is no mind. But here in the stock case also, if the stocks are not there, it is a lost asset. You are supposed to provide for it, and there is no basic question of maintenance of 90 days or making payment into the account, and it's a regular. So we chartered accountants should take one day from the regular audit. We take them to visit to some of the main accounts and see whether it is functioning. It will give us some knowledge also how the businesses are happening, because sometimes it may be 300 crores, 500 crores, or 2 crores or 5 crores, key loans, and so many type of loans which we'll be enjoying seeing into that. Because to continue with that, I don't know how long we are going to have these bank audits at all. And most of the, sir, I will just present. Is there any question pending, or shall I just present one or two few things which
and just the addition to that, there is another question relating to stock, sir. In audited balance sheet, stock showing very less amount when compared to monthly stock statement to maintain the DP showing the higher side, whether the MOC is required.
Sir, this is a major issue, which is a problem for our own chartered accountants. What you said is going to be our ethical issue. On what basis? Because sometimes they give it like this, we have to report it. LFAR, we have to report. On that basis, we may not be able to, because what happens, the date of the stock and the date of the balance sheet may be 1 or 2 days different. Or it's a reality, we will not be able to do that. But what happens, you will not get the audited balance sheet as on 31st March, for which you are auditing now. You will get only the 31st March of last year. And with that, you can make a remark that the client is presenting 2 types of different statements to the bank, so that the bank is given a warning that you have to be careful with this advance. Am I right, sir? Lakshmanan, sir.
Correct, sir. Correct. Okay, because when we do audit, we may not have that audited balance sheet. The latest audited balance sheet will be the previous year only, from which we can get a cue. How is it that they may have shown, for example, 50 lakhs here in the stock statement, and as per the balance sheet, it will be only 25 lakhs. So such things can be reported as a serious irregularity in LFAR, so that the bank can be cautious in future.
Arun sir, can I continue with other observations? Generally,
yeah, just continue, sir. Just continue, sir.
Okay. Sir, continuing to that, I said about visits. These days, we are given 2 branches, and most of the 2 or 3 partners only visit 2 branches, and they don't get enough time. The reports are all coming later. we are provided with only one. Even I happened to do a biggest branch audit on this thing where only one system was given with entry to core banking as well as other things. So, but somehow or other we develop relationship with the managers. We sit with them late and we do our work onto that. But what happens, even then we had a difficulty of digital certificates, digital signature putting also. It took 1 hour for regularizing our digital signature, and systems delay, flaws and all, which has been going on to that. But what happens, we are likely to lose this bank audit soon because most of the verification checkings are all being systemized. And they are all clubbing the advances. I was told that the State Bank of India makes 50 crores, up to 50 crores, it goes to the small SME branch, and above 50 crores, it goes to the commercial branch, and above beyond the limit, it goes to a different level of a branch. And they are all consolidating, and those branches are acting only as a marketing office. Even the managers are not able to give you explanation on the conduct of accounts. If you ask any question on the conduct of accounts, they say that, sir, this is all monitored from the RASMAC or different places from where it is to be done. So if at all the information is to be done, you have to do a lot of homework, which on all these accounts, give a paper presentation to them and then make it to be done. Our time involvement, because of lack of systems and doing it up, even if you send 4 people, you get only one system and all others are in soft copy. There is no position of using anything other document. You have to do that. So the time taken, the risk taken also is going on a heavy level nowadays. So we have to be more prepared. And now instead of talking about how to proceed about it, we can analyze what all the problems we had. Our institute can represent through the banks so that it can be improved later. Because what happens, as I really said, the bank audits are going to come down. Now 90% became 70%. And this 70% also, number of branches have also coming down for audits, because they are trying to make big branches so that one firm audit can do bigger branches, and the number of auditors to be managed also is going to come down. So what happens, our development has to be in a different level with regard to bank audits. And even if you say I'm talking more on the lines of some banks, and some banks are still having manual intervention, but almost 99% manual interventions in management of accounts advances have been rooted out through the RBI's intervention very seriously. But yeah, you all would have heard a recent Supreme Court judgment whether to declare an account as a fraud immediately on becoming NPA. This, I go back to the question which you made on the stocks. If you say that advance is even regular, but there is no stock, if you report as an NPA, you have to report as also as a fraud. Possibility of a fraud. Because the stock statement, which is the second question which you asked, this declaration of stock statement of higher amount and bank chartered accountant audited report gives a lower amount, which is becoming a fraud. So when it enters into a fraud category, our chartered accountants are also at a very high risk. So we have to be very careful on this issue. Am I right, sir, Lakshmanan, sir?
Correct, sir. Correct. Perfectly.
Yeah. We have to be more of a very cautious. And even if you are a central auditor, I tell you, your audit lies in the branches, not at the head office.
Regarding fraud also, there is a question in LFAR. Normally, the auditors ask the manager, sir, whether there was any fraud during the year. He said no, and it is reported as no. And our institute persistently advises the chartered accountants to get a management representation letter in which all these things are included. But many of us are not having the practice of getting that MRL. We issue the letter and getting the answers for that. Because once the auditor visits, he has to, if it is subjected to concurrent audit, up to February report should have come. He should go through it. In certain banks, they may say that no, February report has not come, sir. Likewise, all the audits, what are all the audits conducted during the year? you can ask for that. Unless you give an MRL and get the reply, the manager, if there are any defective comments, they may try to hide that report also. So it is better to give a MRL and get a reply about concurrent audits, frauds, etc. Everything. For frauds, you can get a queue from suspense account and Sunday creditors. There is any loss due to fraud that would have been debited in suspense account. Like that, if there are any collections regarding that, that would have been placed in the Sunday creditors. So auditors should long outstanding in suspense account, long outstanding even in Sunday creditors account requires further study, which the auditor should look into it to ascertain whether there are any frauds during the year. Am I correct, sir?
Of course, yes, sir. You are absolutely right. And now, since the audit is over, we are not talking about that. But
in future, we have to be.
I was employed. I was a banker for 2 years after my articleship before starting my practice in '87.
Oh.
So those days, DD's payable account was a major area where frauds were happening around.
Yes, yes. DD's paid without advice.
DD's advice, DD's paid advice was a big problem on those days. Nowadays, it is all streamlined. Most of the things are streamlined. But one more area where we can be very strong to know about the branch is inspection report.
Yes, yes.
Inspection department. And the rating, usually if the rating comes down, then you have to be very careful from the very beginning. If the rating goes up, then you can be little lethargic as to the branch is being taken care of them. Because the systems in all the banks with regard to inspection audit by their own people are really good, excellent to be risk-based. Now they have changed to risk-based internal audits, in risk-based audits. So basically inspections are very, very good onto those lines. So that is the area. But having completed, I would only suggest, as he rightly said, sit one day, because Arun was saying of going for Arun, or I think the compere was saying about going on leave or vacation. You think one day whether when you study, prepare the MRL, most of the chartered accountants would have been getting MRLs, or when you just go through one day, is there anything left? Go back to the branch, get a letter that what all has been done, what all not, that it is to be included. Because now NFRA, as said, it is not enough that you write a query. It is not enough that you note down that the query has been replied and satisfied by you. You have to note down what made you to write the query, what you thought about it in your mind, and what is the discussion you had with your partners or your team on this, and what was the reply. You have to write an essay. So you cannot strike up the query made by you yourself. Am I right, sir?
That's what we are doing long back, because we are subjected to peer review. The peer reviewer asks so many questions. What about your working papers? How this has been solved? Whether, as you said, whether you have discussed with your partners, it's a serious mistake, how it has not been reported, like that. So you have to, as you said, you have to write an essay about everything. It is not sufficient that you are satisfied. The peer reviewer, whosoever comes to know, should be satisfied that what the decision taken by you is correct.
Sir, another question, sir. As per the records, the securities available are very less and there is going to be nil recovery. Can the standard loan till last year be classified as loss asset by giving MOC?
Yes. Because since it is proved that there is no security, there is nothing wrong in classifying it as directly to loss asset. They did not go the process, substandard, etc. Directly loss asset if it is proved that there is no security at all. Definitely.
Technical team, please allow Prakash Basri, sir, because he is raising his hands.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Prakash Basri, sir,
Prakash, unmute yourself, raise your query, sir.
No, that is only regarding MRL, which has been answered by the speaker. That's all.
Oh,
MRL only. Okay,
Yes.
that was my question. That has been answered.
Thank you. Thank
okay,
you,
sir.
Prakash,
Okay,
sir.
sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other queries from any of our delegates? Either you can raise your hand or drop in your queries in the Q&A or chat box also.
And before question comes, let me add a few more things for the safety of ourselves. Every now and then, the institute advice and in every seminar, we tell how to select the advances, large advances, particularly advances granted during the year, extra large advances about which the auditor should be very careful. That too, the advances granted during the year should be thoroughly checked by the auditor as to the execution of the documents, everything, whether memorandum of title deeds are done correctly, whether everything has been done as per the sanction, whether the rate of interest as per the sanction is there. So if anything goes wrong in subsequent years, we may be questioned. That's the first year we have seen the documents. There are, in fact, it has happened in one bank. They have deposited the title deeds and they have failed. They have not paid the loan. And subsequently, when the bank went for sale, the deposit of title deeds relates to some other land, not at all the lands specified when they applied for the loan. This has not been looked into at the time of deposit of title deeds. So everything should be looked into very precisely. If there is large advance, that too granted during the year. If anything goes wrong, we are answerable.
Sir, there is one more question from Sendil 12345. I just read out the question. Due to dispute with the landlord, the rent agreement was not renewed, and the bank is providing for the rent payable as per the existing rent. But as per the correspondence, the bank is prepared to pay the little higher amount, which was not accepted by the landlord. Where and how to report?
The concept of materiality counts. If it is a very large amount, you can go in for a main report. Otherwise, it is sufficient we report in that LFIR in the profit loss account section and in contingent liability also. Depends upon the amount. If it is a huge amount, we can report it in main report. Otherwise, it is sufficient we report it in LFIR so that they take remedial actions in the years to come. Am I correct, sir? Sridhar, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, generally, when we even the statutory audit, we are referring the concurrent audit, sir. So, while doing concurrent audit, what are all the precautions we have to take it for, sir? Because many of us, even as you said, in future, whether we are having bank audit or not, we don't know. But definitely, it is a concurrent audit or risk-based internal audit, and concurrent audit is going to be there for the. It is a shift towards the all banks almost concentrating on concurrent audit and other things. Whether what are all the precautions we have to take it while doing concurrent audits?
Sridhar, sir.
Sir, you are the expert, but one thing I will say, don't take concurrent audits for a cheap amount. The banks are all same 25 or 20,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees, appoint you for 3 years and then later on appoint for the same fee somebody else. The workload keeps on increasing. The concurrent audit is a major serious audit where you cannot take it lightly, because in the one of the recent information which I have got, an advance was given. The advance as per the terms of sanction, the concurrent auditor verified. But later on, some problem came and they made a point to send a show cause notice to the auditor auditor, concurrent auditor, saying that why you have not seen this angle. As per the sanction letter only, he has verified. Later on, when we took it up, because of a friendship and other things, when we took up with the head office, sir, don't bother, sir, we will not take with the institute and all, but we may not give him the audit next time. We asked them the simple question, what is the professional misconduct or loss in the what he has been doing into this? Because all banks, if they want to safeguard themselves, their officers, employees. Nobody is there to safeguard your chartered accountants. And our own chartered accountant institute is going to question you if any complaint goes against you. So, see, concurrent audit is a serious issue. Take it if you can do it to the full of your conscience and everything. He was talking about, our Lakshmanan sir was talking about even the verification of accounts, documents and all. I used to verify the process of evaluation of loan also. Even before giving, you are supposed to verify. And that will become a major issue if you are a concurrent auditor. So concurrent auditor job is a very serious job, not like a statutory auditor job. At least as he said, you are choosing the samples. You are allowed to choose the samples. Now you are supposed to report the sample size also and sample accounts also in your LFAR and other places. But concurrent audit issue,
100%.
100%. So I think being a qualified concurrent auditor, I've been doing concurrent audits and all for long. But from theoretical point of view, Lakshmanan sir will be much better to answer on those grounds. But I will see concurrent audit is a major, because as a statutory auditor at the branch level, as at the head office level, I depend on two reports. One is concurrent auditor's report and second on inspection report. So based on that only, I finalize the balance sheet of the banks at the end, at the head office level. Sir, please, you continue.
Yes, sir. As he said, concurrent auditors, there is no limit. Each bank has got their own agenda. In fact, in one bank, they want us to check whether security guard is okay, whether fire alarm system is functioning correctly. So, if there are 20 employees in a bank and all the jobs have to be supervised by the concurrent auditor, whatever happens, if any fraud, anything happens, they leave the fraudster, they leave the manager, and they question the concurrent auditor. So we have to be very careful, and I have written to our institute also. The institute should come out with the areas where the concurrent auditor should concentrate or should do it should be limited, and there should be a standard report format for that. Nowadays, every bank has got has been computerized. There is ethic is there, and certain banks, some other software are there, in which we have been asked so many questions and we have to answer, and they ask for a loan, for a single loan, there will be some 20-25 questions will be there, which we have to answer. In spite of it, frauds are happening. So we should be very careful, and in future, our institute can come out with guidelines about the areas to be covered by chartered accountant, for what for he is liable, and a standard format should be there in future so that we can save our skin. As he said, the fees they pay is not even 10% of the salary which is being given to the branch manager. In spite of it, they ask us to do so many things. And nowadays, every bank is insisting on attendance, and they want us to sign the attendance register. And in one particular bank which we are doing, they want us to sign in time and out time also. Including that, we have to make, in spite of it, we are also doing concurrent audit of so many banks, and each bank has got their own way of doing the audit and questioning the auditors. And within the time frame, unless you send it within 5th of month, 10th of month, they reduce the fees also. So, because there is competition, and for whatever fees our brethren are doing the audit and we are doing, so the banks are not increasing the concurrent audit fees. In future, RBI in consultation with our institute should come forward with the standard format and standard fees and the areas to be covered. so that we may not be taken to task if a fraud happens in future.
Sir, just I would like to add one thing which is not relating to bank audit. I think Arun and Chairman will excuse me for taking up this particular issue. Fees and competition. Sir, I understand if my figures are wrong, maybe wrong to a percentage of 10% numbers which I say. We are 3,49,000 chartered accountants. 1,49,000 chartered accountants are in practice. 1,04,000 to 5,000 are individuals. And now I understand that this year no individuals have been given assigned any bank audit this year. I understand. I am not right about it. I don't know any authenticated information, but I understand that no new assignments have been, new branch audits have been given to proprietors. Of the 45,000 who are all partners, from 2 partners to 50 partners, we are all there. Why should we have competition? If at all A is not doing, B will do it. You quote high. You have to understand your strength. You have to make yourself only bigger. Nobody else will make you bigger. Friends, I think I am told that more than 85 participants are there. I think Arun may correct me, or Mr. Rahman may tell me how many participants are there. Let us put ourselves up. Nobody else to come to do that. Let us jointly see that we are unique. Of course, unique. But the execution cannot be proportionate to the fees which we collect or charge or we get. But collect the fees as what for you are eligible. You are unique. You understand that you are unique. And if everybody feels that, if my brother, if I am not getting it, let my brother take it. But he should not be demanding less fees and take the work. Let us also demand what we are eligible to demand. So I don't want to exorbitantly claim and do that, but let us not sell ourselves. Sorry, Arun, if I have exceeded by...
No, sir. It is
this should be
very recently we have the same kind of problems in everywhere. It is there, sir. The fees is what you say is very much correct, sir. It is need of hour for everyone.
You think of the bank audit fees was reviewed after 9 years.
Yes.
For increasing 10%, they reviewed it after 9 years. We all have been, the circulars have been going as if we have got, the proportionate bank audit fees, if I put it up rightly, I tell you, the time we spend in a branch for a fees of around 4 lakh rupees, let me put it up. Minimum 2 to 3 chartered accountants with 2 assistants, 5 people working for 5 days. What is the fees recommended by the institute? You calculate it whether it is worth. But we feel that we are paid, sufficiently compensated better there, because we finish it in timeline and do that. But for other audits, for whatever audits, let us not sell ourselves. I with right, I tell you, you fight. Let anybody, if somebody else do that, let them do that. After 1 year, they are doing it. They are going to come back to you. I'm not talking about chartered accountants. If somebody tells you that I will get it done by some other professional, let them do it. Your auditing syllabus, your experience, your costing knowledge, your income tax knowledge, your knowledge of auditing is uncomparable. Let us feel that after passing CA, you are unique. You may be specialist in some area or the other, but let us not sell, because the concurrent audit is nothing but. And you cannot take it lightly. Some chartered accountants are employing somebody and doing it up, some ex-employee bankers. Your certificate is in problem. Better let us not do that. I recently understand it is a small clip. A firm with more partners, but 4 partners of the firm were fined 1 lakh rupees by NFRA for involving in branch audit of one of the NBFCs. And 1 year ban also. So let us, we will do very quality work, but let us be paid to that level. And as I told you, the figures, I repeat, 1,49,000, 1,04,000 proprietors. where we lose ourselves in that. Collectivity is lost in that. See that it is properly being taken care by. Thanks, sir.
Sir, another mostly everybody facing this problem, sir. When we do the branch audit, we've found certain mistakes or queries, or even, as I said, a query is raised by the first query is raised now, sir, that there is no stock at all, but the accounts is below the approved level, but the manager says that, or somebody from the regional office says that, sir, you put it in the LFIR, don't make it in a MOC. So most of our CAs are, we'll put it in MO without putting MOC. Whether we put it in the LFIR itself is enough, or we have to make it an MOC strictly, sir. How, as a central auditor, how you are looking to these things, sir?
Sir, first itself I told you, no LFIRs will be seen before signing the balance sheet. If you want, it should be made only in LFIR reporting is only irregularities, not on provisions, not on your classifications or IRAC norms will have any effects. Put it only in the audit report or MOC, and regional office is not to be taken as a guide for yourself. I will suggest the chairman, secretary can be, I can offer a few. You can select 10 people or 12 people to be available as a general advisors when the branch audit happens through SIRC panel. Make them to talk. If you want a written opinion, all members may not be giving it up. But you can have a pool of 10 to 15 people who can be contacted. If any branch, any chartered accountant has difficulty, let him call the SIRC, give one number and inform that member, the panelist, that please help them out. We will help them out. We will tell them what is to be done. And not to be guided by the statutory auditor, should not be guided by the bank. It should be, if at all you have, you talk to the statutory auditor of that bank or take a course through your institute and do it. Am I right, sir? Lakshmanan, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Because the branches will say that you put it in LFIR, sir, it is okay, it will be seen by everybody. As you said, you would have completed the audit, and after that only you see LFIR. So LFIR is for irregularities only, not for MOC. MOC, if you feel that it is not a standard asset, it should be reported in MOC only. And regarding appointment acceptance, in fact, one bank has sent a letter stating that we have to complete it on 8th. And if audit is not completed, fees will not be paid. Subsequently, they have withdrawn that. And whatever date we send our acceptance letter, long back, not now, some 30 years back, we have given the letter. At that time, the audit will be completed only by the end of April or in the 15th of May. So, but we could not complete the audit because there were a lot of problems in that branch. It was a very biggest branch, more than 90 employees. That was not computerized at that time. There were labor commotion, etc. We could not complete the audit. But by the time that finalization was over, balance sheet was released. And we received a letter from the bank stating that as per the acceptance letter, you have accepted to complete the audit by 15th of May or 30th of April, but you have completed the audit after 2 months or so. So why the matter should not be referred to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India against you for disciplinary action? So that much seriousness is there regarding the completion of the audit. Nowadays, we sign that it will be completed before 15th of March or so. And if you feel that you are not able to complete, kindly send a letter stating that we will not be able to complete because of the following reasons. We have asked for certain things which has not been given by the branch. We have not been given computer, as he said, system is not provided to us. We have asked for the following details which have not been submitted by the bank. So it is getting delayed. We may be able to complete not on 15th, but on 20th. because at a later date you should not be taken to task. You have to save your skin. We should be very careful in such things.
Sir, having raised one issue on acceptance letter. This time, let me be specific. State Bank of India appointment letter came with one last declaration by us, saying that please inform or declaration that none of your clients are the members or clients of that particular bank, borrowers of that particular branch.
How can we know?
If I am practicing in Trivandrum and I am given a branch in Trivandrum, for practicing 30 years, at least 1 or 2 clients will be in every branch or major branches as orders. Otherwise, I'm useless. So, in the same way, in another place, the major branch was, the auditor gave back saying that I am statutory auditor of a client of your branch. Then we took it up. The point is, if you are doing company audit of X company, the X company may be a debtor to Y company. You will be audited for Y company as well. Can you not do the audit of both the companies? So at the end of the day, they agreed that no problem, sir. You forget about it. You only give the list of accounts where your own clients are there onto this. Then we completed to do that. So this is going to be an issue, initial trickage. What is going to be later on, we don't know about it. I'm talking about a big firms, class 1 firms where, they will definitely have 1 or 2, at least simple 1 or 2 with 5 crores at least in that branch, or you debark from it. Then we said there is no question of it. Then they agreed. Of course, what I tell you, I only tell you that this may become another, your scrutinizer in the next year onwards. We don't know about it. So this is another area, Jason. I think if no further questions are there, Arun can take it up further. Thanks, sir.
So, members, if there is any question, kindly raise your hands or you put it in the Q&A box.
Before anybody asks any question, there is one stipulation that if particular loan is made good by last minute remittances, and there is one condition that the remittance should not be within by getting a loan from the same bank or from the same branch. So if there are any remittances towards the end of the month in big loans, the auditor should be very careful to see that whether it is a make-up arrangement by the branch itself or by the bank itself. In fact, in some 10 or 15 years back, when we were seeing one remittance of some 25 lakhs, 50 lakhs towards the end of the March, and we found it that temporary loan was sanctioned to the same company of the bank in some other branch, and it was remitted to that branch. So we should be careful about the remittances made towards the end of in the March. Whether there are huge remittances, we have to ascertain the source from which it has come, and we should be very careful. So if there are no questions.
There are no questions.
We have to thank the participants.
There is no question. Yeah.
Because even after completing audit, they have come to hear us.
Yeah. Can we go for a vote of thanks?
Yes,
Sure,
sir.
sure, sure. Thank you very much, Sridhar sir. Thank you, Lakshmanan sir, for your time and presence. Thank you for choosing to be amidst us, clearing all the doubts of our delegates. For the benefit of members at large, with your permission, we are recording and uploading these sessions in our SIRC YouTube channel. I request members to please do visit our YouTube channel, SIRC YouTube channel. With that, we have come to the conclusion of today's program and the Bank Audit Question and Answer series. We will meet you in the next program on some other day. Until then, wishing you all a happy days ahead. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being a part of the wonderful session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
In fact, we
Sridhar,
enjoyed.
sir. Thank you, Lakshman sir.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Sridhar sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Better.